A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole...
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
It seems as though there's a pattern in blood flow. That can't be natural.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to catch you.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
Sing us a song, I know you can. That's enough.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us would kill our
She
own,
shakes her head.
picking us off one by one.
Game for one, I'm afraid.
Can we just
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
shut up? You think me mad? Mad? Insufferable, surely.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of a leg stripping pigs.
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were thinking of flesh, or to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh, those that have eluded you for so long.
There's a killer about after all.
Till overhauling a bit of cabbage makes us cry, I shall hold my head steady.
Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep, so to speak. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell. Don't worry, honey. It
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
never say never, though.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce. It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad? Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp you found.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intent.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy. I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, elf, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robe.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
It was one of them. I know it.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine.
There's some discoloration, as well as a rather disconcerting lack of tongue and gums, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I know it. You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us will kill our own.
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Sufferable, surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? I'll tell you if you can keep
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
you put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
Ben nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
Sorry you're upset, ma'am, but we all wear what we wear for a reason.
I've never dined on anything.
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe if that has the Magister's more concern.
And if she drops...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
What happened? Must have been the turnips. Water? What?
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into... The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead. You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just. Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence.
Lucian.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused. The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
It's no use. Your words do not seem to reach.
The dice roll darkly.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide.
Not long before... God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick!
Was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. Through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first...
Oh. Yes? Shouldn't you be running or screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from
I know that you were mortal once, but could you not have let their ignorance fall away with your flesh? I have neither lungs to drown nor stomach to poison. This ship's fate does not concern me. No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the sea floor, I will simply walk to shore. You, on the other hand, would be better placed finding a lifeboat. I dare say you would be hopelessly lost in the ocean's dark heart. I believe you did. Although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed, just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death.
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
Please, my time is short.
Gods! By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer! Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too? Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
Bishop Alexander. If Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no one.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Договорись на субботу. О, привет. Играешь? Divinity? Да ты чё вообще? Как ты мог? Да вообще. Просто такой этот предатель. Видел этот чемпионат в Окленде? Не хочешь сходить? Тогда еще 2 человека. Не-не-не, я имею в виду играть. Ну и чё, зато поучаствуем. Не-не, можно сходить поиграть. Только надо еще 2 человека. Где их взять? Ну да. Ну чё, Настя уже хочет тоже в команду? Ну, 35 из 100. Она как минимум лучше, чем остальные 75. Она, говорит, 35 место заняла. Тут в Окленде просто чемпионат будет, можно отобраться на чемпионат. Да. Таня откажется. Там 4 человека в команду должно быть. И 4 команды от Северной Америки отбираются. Фу, а чё нет-то? Ну так вряд ли, конечно, но постебаться сходить. Чё, поиграть на этом? Записывается на отборочный, по-моему, 20 какого-то. 20, не помню. Но на выходных отборочный, а потом 17, да, там 19 ноября чемпионат. Может быть, кто играет. Надо Женю подписать, черт. Маленького. Но он в CS играет. Да, согласен. Согласен. Там на полуостров садятся. Блин, жалко, конечно. Сходили бы, постебались. В принципе, что такое. Нет, посмотреть-то, конечно, можно. Там билеты продаются и все такое. Но это же не то. Можно всем говорить, что о, я ходил, короче, на чемпионат там. Денег они не просят за участие, знаешь. Вот. Чего бы и нет. Я бы прикололся. Ну да. Ой, блядь, network lag. Да. Ну, Вот они вчера обновлялись. Что нет ни хрена. Можно сказать. Можно, а как мы летели? А может туда на перекресток уехать? Сейчас посмотрю, есть какие-то машины? Ни хрена нет. Там прийти могут вообще на цистерну. О, слушай, зона. Может пойдем на ту сторону? Я баги нашел, я подъеду. Я с дробовиком, чё. Такие, блин, я представляю, задроты по 30. Ну ладно, тебе 30 нету, да? Ладно, тогда я про себя буду говорить. Задрот 35-летний такой. Пришел поиграться. Ну, в принципе, да, наверное. Да, не вообще. Че такого? Блин, network lag. Я уже еду, я пока тут просто забежал на этот. Ну нет, я не настолько подлый. Почти, но не настолько. А я тоже с дробовиком, чё, и всякой фигней. О, кто-то едет. Не. Поехали. А, погнали. Ну да. По-моему, как раз вот справа там. Не, поехали через мост. Нормально. Ну, я буду их с дробовиков стрелять. В принципе, мне как бы особо терять нечего, поэтому... Да, на военку. Угу. Туда и едь, да.